Now, from time to time, people are brought in to a room, and their attention is directed to a screen-like device somewhere. Now, on the screen, and here is a screen-like device, there might be any number of things to see. But you'll notice in this scene, I don't know if you can see it here, here's somebody sitting on a ledge. He's drawn this with sort of a breakaway room. Here he calls these guards. These are two small gray aliens. Here is another abductee sitting on this bench or ledge being looked at, or she's tending to little kids. You can just see their hybrid garb that they're wearing there. Abductees do not wear clothes. You can always tell an abductee in the picture by the one who's not wearing clothes. And here he is, and then there's a screen. Now, what do people see on the screen? Well, they see strange geometric shapes and colors floating slowly across the screen. That's unusual, but that's what they see sometimes. Sometimes they see verdant scenes of wilderness, beautiful, wonderful. That's also unusual. That's what they see, but that's what they see sometimes. Sometimes they see normal, everyday scenes of human life. And now we're going to jump right to the end here. And people will say, I'm seeing, like, and I think I wrote about this in the thread, I'm seeing a picnic. There's people playing ball, they're at a grill, they're talking, this and that. Now, all communication on board the object is telepathic. In their mind's ear, they'll hear, at a picnic, let's just say, can you tell the difference between us and you? And they'll look at the screen and they'll say, no. They'll think, what are you talking about? Everybody is just a normal picnic. Everybody looks the same. People are having fun. And they'll say, see? Isn't that wonderful? Isn't that great? Soon we will all be together. Soon everybody will be happy. Soon everyone will know his place. Soon the change is coming. There's going to be a change. Everybody's going to be happy. It's wonderful. It's wonderful. And what they're actually saying is there's going to be a change coming, and we, aliens and hybrids, are going to be happy that it's coming. You, we don't particularly care about, but we think it's wonderful. It's terrific. It's going to be wonderful. And they're saying just that, but when you read between the lines of these things, you realize they're talking about themselves. It's going to be, that's what they're here for. Now, you hear something like that once, and what you do is you put it on the back burner, you wait for confirmation from other people who are not aware of this testimony, and if it's never confirmed again, it's not evidence because you're looking for patterns. But after you hear it a number of times in similar ways, then you begin to think, wait a second, something is happening here. As we move forward, here is another screen. Now, this is sort of interactive. This is actually a woman. I just said all abductees don't have any clothes on, and here's an exception. She said she was wearing her nightgown. Almost certainly not. But who might argue? So she's brought before a council. These are symbols or something on the council. And up here is an alien. I hope you can see that in the back. Being chased by a group of angry humans. And her job is to, in some way, put her hands here or with her mind or something like that, placing her hands here in appropriate, symbols. Yeah, to save. She's got to maneuver the UFO that she's on over the alien here to save him so he'll go up into it from the humans. And she said, well, I don't know how to do that. I can't do that. And then she realized, she said, well, wait a second. Maybe I can. Maybe I can do that. Oh, yeah, I remember that. And she starts putting her hands here. And then you can see she can see it's sort of moving, whatever the image she's looking at, over this alien. There's obviously no alien with a group of humans chasing him there. And they say, oh, that's good. Thank you, that's good. Very, very good. You did a good job. And they just take her away, and that's that. Now, the point here is that this is not very much different than playing with an object that has lights on it when you're a kid. And I began to understand that all this play, that stuff that I was looking at, tons of play accounts, all had to do with training of the abductee to perform tasks, mentally or physically or whatever it was. And as an adult, they're still doing it. And in Secret Life, I called it testing. We didn't know what it was. I thought they were testing reflexes, testing this, testing how much you knew, whatever they were testing. Now I would change that word. I would call it training. This is all part of a training procedure. Okay, next. Now, sometimes we see hybrids who are older. This is a hybrid in his 20s. He was wearing glasses of some sort. I don't know whether this is true or not. Both these cases were my colleague Bud Hopkins' cases. Here is another one wearing glasses, actually the same person, seen by another abductee. But we have to be careful with this, but you can see he's got sort of a pointed chin, and although everything looks pretty normal, blondish hair. Here's one that looks sort of like a hunk, wearing what might be called a uniform or something, close cropped hair, very large eyes, but looks quite, I call it late stage. A late stage hybrid looks quite human. Here is one, I threw this in, I probably shouldn't have, but this is, these are two abductees. And they are being interrogated. They were abducted together, being interrogated by this hybrid here, and here is a hybrid standing here. This is sort of a close-up of this hybrid. Wearing a uniform. This is not an American military uniform, but it's close. Here's a middle stage hybrid. Now, he's got this sort of one-piece thing on. He's got this pointed chin, very wispy hair. This is the abductee. She is not wearing anything, although she thought she was, but later on confirmed she wasn't. This is actually, this thing he's pointing at on a screen is a road map. These are blocks. These are streets and so forth. These are houses, whatever it is. And he's telling her, in the future, your job will be to stand here, or wherever it is, and tell people to, it's okay, just move this way, just keep moving this way. They'll be panicked, they'll be frightened, but it's up to you to keep them in line. Just keep them moving this way, just keep them that. That'll be her job in the future. She's got to remember that. That's going to be her job. She's got to move those people in this direction. I've got a number of them, lots of them, moving people. It's a very common aspect of what's going to happen in the future. There will be panicked people. Their job is to calm them and keep them moving in an orderly fashion.